All right, we're looking at Mach 3, low-cost CNC control software, not CAM, but control software. I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can because I have a 5-minute limit on this video. Um, as with Haas, you see a cycle start button, you see a feed hold button, you see a stop button. You also see a reset button. That reset button serves the same purpose as our e-stop in a Haas. Like a lot of other software, if I edit G code, I don't go to MDI. It opens the file up in Notepad where I can make changes. I can load recent files. I can close the files, etc., etc., etc. Tool information. I don't have any tool information set up yet, but I can set that up in another page. And I'll kind of come show that in a minute. I can override the feed rate. We've done that on the Haas's at college. A little bit simpler here where you just crank the feed rate up and down with the click of the mouse. Same with spindle speed and, of course, reset button. In the MDI here is really used for just moving the tool around in different positions. So if I wanted to go to, say, X6, I could hit enter and it would move the tool 6 inches to the X position. You would never write the whole program here in MDI. From the toolpath tab, one thing that I find incredibly useful with Mach 3 especially is this over to the right, program limits. This tells me my X, Y, and Z ranges. And it helps me identify if I've made a boo-boo in my programming. So I can see this part would really be about 24 inches one direction, 8 in another, and my maximum Z is 0.09 depth. And at one point, the tool is going to be 0.6 above the part. That's probably my rapid plane. That's kind of handy. I wish Haas had something like that. I can also simulate the program run, which is handy, so I know how long this process should take. In the offsets page, the other thing I want to show is that in Mach 3, you can add, say, the edge finder diameter. And when you go through the edge finding process, you don't have to do any math. Mach 3 does it for you. So there's some things that are a lot easier here. There are settings in Haas that we can change. We've adjusted from maybe inches to millimeters from time to time, but overall, we don't really talk about that in our class. Last thing that I'll show, I'll just rewind my code here to get ready to run it again. If I hit cycle start, it's going to show the tool moving here. Of course, I've got a bunch of things in this code. It's going to show the tool moving in the tool path, so it's kind of like the graph editor. But that actually happens while you're running the code, which Haas doesn't really allow us to do too easily. I'll stop that for a second, and I'll also show you that I can set X, Y, and Z 0 here with a simple click of the mouse. Lastly, I'm going to change the scale on my x-axis, and I am going to regen the toolpath, and you'll notice that automatically the toolpath has been reversed. So initially when I wrote this code, the idea was to engrave it in some plexiglass and kind of have it backlit so the front side would be smooth. If I actually wanted to reverse that, all I have to do is change the scale. Similarly, I can change the Y and the Z scaling to give me, say, a left-hand side part or a right-hand side part. So although this is low cost, it's kind of outdated now. There's a lot of benefits to it, and you may see it. I've seen this software applied to CNC routers, lathes, plasma cutters, and it's pretty handy. So that's your overview of Mach 3.